Okay, so I went up into Vermont today to buy an old car. I bought an old Cadillac, and I stopped here on the way back through. There's an old tank here. I don't know if it's a Sheridan or what it is, probably Vietnam era. Maybe a little later than Vietnam. Probably, I'd say, between the mid-60s and very, very, very early. Probably, it's no newer than the 90s. I'd say very early to late 80s. I'd say Vietnam era tank here. It's a nice rig. Big diesel engine radiators on the back. Your blackout lights. I don't know why they put these rubber pads on street pads, I'm sure, so it doesn't tear up the blacktop, but you would think they would want steel for when they're mucking around out in the woods and stuff. Nice bogies on it. The bogies are about 2.5 feet. Funny, you don't realize how big these idler bogies are until you get up next to one. Looks like it had a smaller cannon up top, maybe a 20 millimeter, and they plugged it off and it did away with that. It's actually a pretty nice tank. Looks like this is some kind of an air intake here. You can see it's got a diffuser and then the pipe goes inside of it there. And they welded everything up, it looks like. Those are your little looking ports for your periscope, and then there's probably a periscope right there directly under the turret. Looks like this was probably a jumper for if you had to jump start another vehicle. That was probably, I don't know what that was, some kind of interconnect. Yeah, it's a pretty cool tank. These are probably all toolboxes in here. Probably had all kind of shovels and picks and come-alongs and all that kind of stuff. You probably put your rucksacks and regular smaller stuff up in that basket. I bet I know a guy that served in one of these. Yeah, they really don't want anyone stealing this thing. They welded the sprockets to the tracks and everything. So anyway, I think it's a Sheridan, I'm not sure. But that's the tank on display up in Vermont. Bright sunny day here, hard to get a good video. That plate on the side of the turret right there is probably where they had a flare launcher.